What is up, YouTube? My name is Trinity and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. Today we are going to be continuing our series of talking about cryptids from every state in the US. The next state we are going to be talking about is Hawaii, and we are going to be talking about the mo'o. Because this is another indigenous legend from Hawaii, please, if you are Hawaiian or just a little more familiar with this specific legend, let me know down in the comments below if I am saying it right, if I got anything wrong, or if there are any other variations in the legend. Sometime in the future, I do plan on doing a whole dedicated video to the other legends from Hawaii just because my research was so interesting. I want to learn more, but for now, this is the one we're going to be starting with. So the mo'o is said to be a 30-foot long dragon-like creature, and it's said to inhabit the freshwater streams, ponds, and springs of the islands of Hawaii. It's considered to be both an ancestral spirit as well as a sort of guardian of nature and natural resources. It's somewhat crocodilian in appearance, and its black scales glisten like oil in the sunlight. Its eyes also burn like embers, and it is said to have a long, powerful tail that's able to create whirlpools and water spouts. It's very territorial and can be dangerous, however, it is mostly seen as a nature guardian. Though it is also a shapeshifter, it can shapeshift into just everyday objects like canoes. It can also shapeshift into geckos, and it is said that sometimes they shift into beautiful women in order to lure men with their hypnotic eyes into the water. Next, we are going to be talking about the Swan Valley monster from Idaho. As the name suggests, it was first spotted in Swan Valley, Idaho in 1868. The person to see it at the time was on a ferry, and they saw what they initially thought was an elephant's trunk rising from the lake. Now, this sounds weird considering it's Idaho, but we have talked in other videos about how some lake monster sightings could have been elephants from like traveling circuses just spending time and washing themselves in the lake. Elephants are actually really good swimmers, so it's not really out of the realm of possibility that one was completely submerged and then their trunk came up, but the story gets weirder than that. After what he initially thought was an elephant's trunk coming from the water, a huge snake-like head emerged, the size of a wash tub, which are pretty damn big, so this was a huge creature. He said that the creature had a single horn sticking out of its forehead, and it had long black whiskers coming out from either side of its face. When it opened its mouth, it allegedly had 10-inch fangs, a forked tongue, and it spewed a green venom. Then from where he first saw it, it hauled its 20-foot-long body onto the shore, where it was revealed that it had a pair of fins or wings that came out of its neck, and it had 12 legs which were alternately hooved and then clawed. He claimed that the front half of the body was yellow and green with black and red spots, while the back of the body was more fish-like in appearance and was covered in rainbow scales the size of his hand. And after that, the tail of the creature didn't match either part of the body. It was a gray-greenish color and resembled that of a crocodile. Now, this man allegedly shot the creature from the boat in the eye and killed it. And then when he exited the boat and went to get a wagon to haul the body off, when he came back, it was gone. I know with other creatures in this series, people have commented that whoever saw them were definitely on some sort of substance, and I believe this one definitely is that case. Next is the Illinois Enfield Horror. Now, the first sighting of this creature happened in 1973 in Enfield, Illinois. The person who originally saw this creature was a young boy. And it's important to add that many UFO sightings were happening in this area at the time, so many people have linked the sighting of this very strange creature to the uptick in UFO activity. The boy claimed that he saw a smaller, gray, slime-covered creature with bright red eyes and claws and 3 legs. I wasn't able to find exactly where the original sighting took place, but this creature allegedly followed the boy home and tried to break into his house, according to a neighbor that claims to have seen the creature trying to break a window. The neighbor claimed that he saw this creature one other time, though safely from his house, just walking along the railroad tracks near his home. But despite many people going out with guns to try to find this creature afterwards, nothing was ever found of it. Next, we are going to be talking about the Illinois Beast of Busco. In 10 Acre Lake in Churubusco, there is said to be a 10-foot-long, 500-pound snapping turtle. It was first spotted by Oscar Folk on his farm in 1898, and then because of this, he gained the nickname Oscar after the man who allegedly discovered him. In July of 1948, which is decades and decades later, 2 fishermen also claimed to see a massive snapping turtle, estimating the weight to be about 5 500 pounds, and this was corroborated by the owner of the land they were fishing on. Many expeditions have been done in order to find Oscar, but none have ever been successful. They never found this thing, but it has had numerous sightings throughout the years. And considering how long turtles can live, I kind of believe that something like that could be out there. Snapping turtles are also a species that grow through their entire lives. Now, the growth slows down significantly as they get older, so you're not gonna find like a dinosaur-sized one. But if the turtle has been around long enough, it's still going to get to a pretty decent size, especially if it's bordering on 500 pounds or more. That would be an amazing discovery to find. I would love to see that, though something like that could also just snap your arm off. Next we are going to be talking about is the Iowa Van Meter visitor. Now, in Van Meter, Iowa in 1903, many residents of the town claimed to see a very large winged creature flying through the skies and terrorizing residents throughout an entire week. Now, the creature was said to have bat-like wings and a wingspan of about 8 feet, as well as a horn on its forehead that emitted light, and it also smelled horrible. Now, many locals had shot at the creature, assumingly some hit it, but the creature just acted like they were a bit of a nuisance. It didn't really react like it was injured. One of these nights, both a town doctor and a bank cashier both had separate encounters with the creature. The banker was even able to make a couple of plaster tracks of the three-toed footprints that the creature left as it was on the ground. It apparently hopped like a kangaroo also. And a high school teacher who had also seen the creature described it as antediluvian, which is a fancy word for old as shit, from a time before the Great Flood in the Bible. Now, the men of Van Meter created a posse to go hunt this creature and make sure it didn't come back. They tracked it to a little outside of town to an abandoned coal mine, where the creature flew up out of the mine with a smaller individual of the same species. They shot at these creatures, and again, they were pretty unbothered by it, and then they flew off into a giant beam of light. The men returned in the morning to try to finish off the job of killing these creatures, or at least driving them off from the town. The men returned in the morning to the mine, hoping to finish off the job, or at least drive these creatures out of the town completely. However, the creatures would never be seen again. When they got to the mine, they said they smelled a horrible stench emitting from the mouth of the mine and heard unearthly noises coming from within, but they never found the creatures. Thank you all so much for watching. In the next video, we are going to be continuing our series starting with Kansas. Like I said in my last video, if you have any suggestions about upcoming states, please let me know down in the comments below. Even if I already have that state all written out, there's a couple that I'm not quite satisfied with the legend that I found, so I'd be definitely open to revising my list. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like and make sure that my videos get out to other like-minded spooky individuals that may also like to join our little community. And if you have a friend that you think would enjoy this series, be sure to send this video to them. And if you're enjoying this series, please be sure to check out my Cryptids from Every State playlist. There you'll be able to find every installment of this series. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.